Welcome back, everyone, to Welstopia, and we have reached the end of my tunnel. This is Stina Rose's portal, which goes to her base, and this will lead safely to my nether portal, so I can get to my base. So that leaves what we do with this tunnel here. I'll have to consult with Stina Rose on that because I don't want to arbitrarily do something to a tunnel that she delved in the first place. So I have to find out whether she wishes for me to create the tunnel, whether she wishes to create the tunnel, or if we will collaborate on creating the tunnel or whatever. But this will eventually lead down, after a long amount of time, into the tunnel that I was building for the community on the north end. And I want to take another look on that in just a moment. I am down at the northern tunnel and I wanted to take care of a couple of things here because we have this little thing here and there were a couple of stone blocks here. I wanted to remove those because those are spawnable locations and I don't want any spawnable locations within the corridor. So therefore I'll be doing that to give some decoration that isn't spawnable. Now here, actually I guess I am going to need that one. I am going to have to create a one here because in these tunnels, at least one of my goals in the tunnel is not to have any spawnable locations in the public areas because, well, you don't want nasty things coming in, right? Let's see, we've got another rack here, so therefore, let's see if we had, hold on, do I have any in there? No. What kind of wood is that? It looks like oak to me. No, dark oak. Well, that's missing there. I'm not gonna like that missing there, and unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that at the moment. Except, I guess I'll have to go to my base and grab some dark oak. So I'll have to fill that in there, and get some netherrack there so they can get the transition they want. Give a minimal of messing with what's here. I'll just give myself a little bit more. Oh, I wonder, stand aside. I was wondering why wasn't I seeing anything there because there isn't much look in the difference between stone and andesite when you look at it in this view. And that's an unfortunate thing that, oh yeah, look at that. I already had a piece there. So therefore I can put this here. I can put this here so at least it doesn't look all wrong. Good, so that means the one thing that is, oh, that's there, that's, yeah, right, yeah, we need oh, that's off, ha 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 ha, because this is 2 wide, not 3 wide, okay. My bad on that department, so therefore I'll have to bring that out here, that out there, and that out there, and that out there. That's probably, maybe I should get some nether brick stairs and make I have to think out exactly the right place to do the transition here and do it appropriately. But I will need to get some dark oak in order to make that fit because that does not go with the rest. And I can put stone brick right here to make that sit properly. And that piece of granite looks completely out of place. It'd be really nice if the corridor were done a little bit differently, but I can't do too much about that. So let me see if I can get some dark oak. While I head back to base and ponder on the matter of getting that dark oak, I should say what my plans are for the corridor. As I said in an earlier episode, I was planning at one point to just stop where I was for the time being and switch to another corridor, but it looks like that the people in the far end of the corridor are a bit anxious in there, and someone started trying to do some additional builds on that. So that means, yeah, I need to really get the building done so that we don't have all sorts of people trying to do their own versions that might not mix with my tunnel. So therefore, I will be continuing this tunnel, and this is going to be a real painful stretch to do when I do it, because it's a long way down if I mess up while I'm doing this part. Now, someone did try putting packed ice down here, and unfortunately, with all the mobs in the area, pieces of it were getting taken out. So it's creating a very dangerous situation, which is why I decided that, yes, I am going to go and finish the building of this first before going on into any of the other tunnels, so that I at least get this tunnel done in the proper style, in a consistent style, and then we can worry about the other tunnels after that. Another little change is that there's now another branch off of here, because this is where the corridor used to end, with Stina Rose and Jake Campbell, and my base is also in that direction. And someone else goes in this direction. I have no idea who goes off that way. And so yes, that means the north corridor needs to go down even further. Yay! I gathered a bit of dark oak wood, which I will take out there, but before I do that, let's tell you that I finally figured out what to do with this thing. So it'll soon come time to tear this thing down. And what I'm going to be doing is turning this into an ordeal. In other words, this spawner is going to be a central part of the ordeal that the initiates go through in order to become members of the temple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the area into 4 bits. So therefore the center is going to be the spawner, and I'm going to divide it into 4 sections, 1 for each of the 4 elements, and the ordeal then is to survive each of the 4 sections. And of course, while you're going through the ordeal, the zombies are going to be spawning. So therefore, that's going to be part of the challenge. So you're going to have a fire section where you're going to have to navigate an area that's going to involve fire. And while you're doing that, you're going to have these zombies to contend with. So maybe not too many zombies will spawn in the fire section, since I suspect that might have a little bit more light. I don't know if it's going to have enough light in order to keep the zombies out, but so that'll be the least zombies. So that's where you'll start. But the other 3, they're going to be unlit while you're going through there, because the idea of the ordeal is you start the ordeal with the areas unlit, you enter into it, and you go in there. You can bring in a couple of torches there to stop it, but first you got to get to the other side. And of course, where you're going through each section, you are going to be slowly, of course, accumulating zombies at the end. So the 4th part of the ordeal then is where you're going to have a great deal of them. So I have to think of exactly what parts to do. We'll probably start out with the fire section, since that's the section that's going to be toughest directly onto the player, and therefore don't want too many zombies there. The earth is probably going to be some sort of a maze, so it's going to be very claustrophobic in it. The nether section is probably going to be parkour, jumping, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit mixed, because you got to remember is that when you think of that other element, you also sometimes think of air instead of nether. And since nether is partly about void, partly about teleportation, and of course it's associated with the air element also, so therefore I'll do that for that one. And then of the water, that means you're going to probably have to do a lot of swimming. And probably have to worry about keeping yourself from getting drowned. So therefore you go through those 4 sections, probably with only a iron sword or something like that, no armor, and see if you could survive the whole thing. So therefore, it's not something to do when you've got a whole bunch of levels or anything like that, but it could be a little bit of a challenge, and maybe something to have other members of the server to try if I can get to appropriate level. And that's what we'll probably do next time, at least get started on it, to get the backbone of the whole thing. And then have my first real build within my area, because yes, I've got my area here, but the main purpose here, of course, is to act as a storage facility. And of course, I've never gotten around to getting it all properly decorated and all that. And yeah, I did make myself a little smelter here, but yeah, that was just to have a smelter there. It's obviously nothing in order to be pretty. So therefore, my first real build then is going to be this trial, this ordeal, to put any potential initiates through. Now, let me get back to that place and place those wood blocks. I have made it back, and let's see if I can get this up here right. Oops. That didn't fit in like that. There we go. And there we are. Good. Now, personally, I would have liked to have taken the stone slab too further in, but maybe that will work. I wanted to interfere with what they did as little as possible. I was more in what I did there was to fix what looked like may have been something that was not quite what was intended. Alright, so there you go. That's done. So let's close that, and let's get that. And I think I want to take a quick look at the spawn village and see if anything's changed there since my last visit. If you saw my series from last season, you will know that my theme was lighthouses. Therefore, if I see a lighthouse, I will take a little bit of an interest in this. Now, this lighthouse seems to be continuously on. It doesn't have a daylight detector to turn it on and off. So that's a little bit different from what I did for my main base's lighthouse. But this lighthouse, though, is in a more traditional format than the lighthouse that I built. I built 3 lighthouses: a river lighthouse, a squarish lighthouse for the harbor house, and then I built the lighthouse of Alexandria, which of course was a very, very tall lighthouse. But I guess that goes well with the ship to help guide the ship, and it's raining. It looks like it's not a thunderstorm, so perhaps we'll leave it as it is, and that gives a little chance to see the lighthouse as it's working in the rain, which a good lighthouse should be able to operate well there. Now, the one thing that does concern me about this lighthouse is, where's the access for the maintenance crew? I mean, really? How do they get up there? I can see an access hatch there. Guess the builder just takes a number of blocks and pillars up there. No, that doesn't exactly sound like the most efficient way to get up and down. So this one was designed to be within the build limits of the area, but to have that tower shape that a traditional lighthouse would have, that a lot of people think of when they see lighthouses. So therefore, to get within the height limit, that 19 height limit, I guess they decided to be very, very narrow, which limited the options of how you get up and down. As you could see, I can understand that because whenever I built lighthouses in the past before last season, I very much tried to do a traditional shaped lighthouse, and it always had trouble because I was always too tight on space. And therefore I was trying to get that ladder up, and it continually all failed. So therefore, I guess that's an alternative plan, is just forget about convenience. Once you're finished building it, that's it. Now the other thing is my neighbor here, who built a house of black and white. And in fact, Bean's house of black and white. I wonder, it looks like it's not quite finished yet, obviously, since that seems to be designed to keep people from going in and checking out the interior. You also have, I think that one was already done though. And let's see what Crafting Mantis has done, if she's gotten any further along. Not much since the last time I've seen things. I think she's been emphasizing her base recently, or maybe she's intending this to be a corral and not a full building. I can understand doing a roofless structure. After all, I did a roofless structure myself, so I certainly can't complain about people doing such things. Now, wait a moment. Is there something on the other side? Yes, there is something on the other side that certainly wasn't here before. So let's see what this is. Alright, and this is Ravenclaw 1987 starter house. Raven's Roost, okay. Raven's Roost doesn't seem to be quite finished yet, so probably just getting started. This is the early part of the month, or actually we're getting to the 13th now, so we're getting the middle of the month, but that means that it's only maybe a week ago where we started getting an influx of new people, so I suspect this might be one of the new players, and they're just getting started on the matter. So let's see if there's anything interesting in the marketplace. Now that's an interesting looking shop. Is this something to do with the... I'm trying to think what that is. With a guardian farm, but I think that would have been a little bit greener rather than bluer. Let's see, what is this? Oh, ink shop. Oh, it's supposed to be a squid. Ah, okay, a squid. An ink shop. 16 for 1 diamond. That's probably expensive, especially since I live next to a lake that seems to like spawning squid on a regular basis, which I don't know why, because I keep on hearing people complain that they never spawn for them. But let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, okay. Here they have... Ah, okay. I wonder if there's someone else here. Yes. This is where I get ender chests and the like. But what I need right now is ender pearls. Help yourself. I'll keep that in mind if I'm ever really needing. 1 for 32. I think that's a price drop. I think they used to be 1 for 16 or something like that. So some of the prices are starting to come down on things, though I don't have much in the way of diamonds at the moment. So I still have to worry about things. What I need to get is Silk Touch, 2 diamonds each. I think I could use something Silk Touch. Is right now I don't have anything silk touch, so therefore I will take that. Not exactly something new and exciting in the store, but something that is missing in my current system. Now mendings are 3 each, or oh! Mending is in stock. I definitely need mending. Of course, that leaves me with only 2 diamonds left, but that'll take me some time. Looks like emerald blocks, withered skulls, yeah, beacons, 75 dimes. Oh, I'll have to wait for those to come down. Either that or do the work myself in order to get it. I know, my history says that's unlikely to happen. Glowstone, 16 for 1 diamond. That's... oh, yeah. That's going to be tricky. Yeah, I can get plenty of them there, but it's very, very expensive for the number of them that I need. And in fact, I think that's one of the reasons why I was thinking of stopping the build of the North Corridor, is because of how difficult it is to get glowstone. But I'll probably have to do a substitute until then. Anything else to find around here? And this thing can be a hazard. Now this place looks a little strange. Am I supposed to press that? I suppose so. See, most of my stock is custom order and won't have physical supply in the store. If you need, DM on Discord or leave an order. Here is what you will be selling 24/7. Feel free to ask for to order other items. Iron, beacons, nether mob, loot. Please check all stores before. Alright. Name tags, iron ingots. Be fair but free. Well, that's... alright, so therefore they're free, but be fair. I think I got enough iron at the moment to do me, so I won't do anything there. Mob, loot, empty. Beacon skulls, 20 diamonds, 1 for 3. Alright, well, custom orders and books. Oh, that type of book. Hug me, please. Okay. Well, now, how do you close this now? Oh, you close the... oh. Alright, well, that's strange. And I think that is where we'll end this episode. When we return next time, we'll be back at my base where we'll begin our work on our little ordeal and see what we can do to make our initiates become masters of fire. But that'll be in our next episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Welstopia.